Hey friends, Wes here. Great to be back with you. It's been a good long break here on YouTube, and while I have not been posting quite some time, I want to let you know that I am still busy in many of the same things I've always been in. And in today's video, I'm going to give you kind of a recap on what I think about Pi Network, why I've been quiet on it for quite some time, and just kind of what I see going on in the progress. So really glad you're with me. If you're new to this channel, glad you're here, glad you stopped by, glad the algorithm has sent you my way. I've been covering Pi Network for just about as long as anyone at least in the US has been covering it, and gone from a skeptic to somebody that's really interested to, well, you'll find out kind of where I'm at with it now. All right, without any further ado, coming right up. Hey, thanks everyone for joining. I'd love for you to hit like and subscribe as we go down this journey together. But first, before we get into Pi Network, I need to talk a little bit about my pause, about my hiatus. I've been creating a new company behind the scenes, Empath. Empath is a super exciting project for me. And many of you know I'm a technologist. I'm a cybersecurity entrepreneur by trade. And I do this channel because I'm interested in it, because I love crypto and it's adjacent to what I do in cybersecurity. So sometimes the nature of me just being not a YouTube shiller, not a crypto moon pumper. The reality is sometimes I'm going to take breaks on this channel and I'm going to go do my own thing. But this channel is my home base. I'm going to talk about the things that I love to talk about. So if you're interested in that journey, I'm glad you're here. If not, flip off this video. No problem. I'm not offended one little bit. Here's the reality in life. We all only have 24 hours in a day, and we only have those hours to spend and no extra. We can't create more time in the day, not until someone creates some kind of time machine. So because of that, a lot of times we say, I don't have time for something. The reality is what we're actually saying is, that's not a priority for me. I've got other priorities. And I'll be honest, this channel has not been a priority for me among other things, especially building Empath. So if you're interested in that journey, you can find out more about what I'm doing in LinkedIn. You can also find out more information over on my other YouTube channel, Empath. And without further ado, let's talk about what's been going on in Pi Network. First of all, for me personally, I am still mining Pi. I've never quit. I'm still doing it every single day. I'm still checking in. The reason I'm doing that is for a whole bunch of reasons. I still am a believer in the Pi Network. Sure, it's taken way too long for things to get going. There's lots of reasons for that, some that I happen to know and many that I happen to not know, but that's okay. The reality is, I think it's okay that it's taken a long time to get it going. How many crypto projects spin up in all kinds of hype, all kinds of activity, only to be literally disappeared from memory forever? That happens commonly. I can't tell you how many people reach out to me saying, hey Wes, cover this project, cover that project. They're just asking and they're trying to exploit the community that I've built for their own gains. And usually I ignore those people because they don't represent you or me and they're not worth me covering. Pi Network's a little different. They've just been slower to build. They haven't just ramrodded a release out on what they've been building. They've been slowly building in the open mainnet while they're waiting to get everything fully in place. And that's okay. The way I have seen as an entrepreneur who's been in this world before, there's kind of two ways you go about building a company. The first way is this. You take lots of funding and you use that funding to grow way past your normal ability to scale. In other words, you're hiring large teams in and you're building, and you're doing so at a loss, but you have funding that's come in to help you build beyond that loss. The advantage to that is that you build super quickly and you can outpace competition. The disadvantage is you're going to give away equity as you go down that journey. The second route to market is doing what the Pi Network founders are doing, at least from what I can tell. They've not really taken any funding. I think they took some early on, but they really, at least to my knowledge, have not taken a lot of funding since, probably none. If that's the case, they're preserving their equity. They're making sure that the equity stance, the ownership stance they have in the company is still there, still maintained by them. That's going to do better for them long term once this thing really begins to grow and they take it in a future direction. The disadvantage to that is what we've seen. It's been a little bit slower to grow. We still haven't finished KYC, and we still are not at a point where the Pi core team has decided we're ready to open this up to open mainnet and to let everybody in and to let Pi come into the markets to be bought and sold and traded. We're still waiting for those things to happen. Now, is that right or is it wrong? I think you'd expect me to say this. It's neither. It's up to the Pi core team to decide what's best for them and ultimately what's best for the market. So they have taken the second route, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think for a lot of people, they're just like, hey, is Pi dead? Is nothing happening here? What's going on with this thing? Why is it taking so long? Well, that's the reality of what's happened. They're just a smaller team, and they're growing at their own pace, and they're building at their own pace. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I am neither attacking them nor defending them. If you're somebody that's given up on the journey, no problem. You shouldn't even be watching this video unless you're trying to get caught up in what's happening. If you're somebody that's completely bought into the vision, where it's going, what it's doing, that's great. I'm glad you are. Just understand that there are always going to be people on the other side of the fence that you're on. Those that are like, this is going somewhere and I bought in and I'm a full believer and everyone should be too. Understand there will be people that disagree with you. And those of you that have given up on the project because it's taken so long for it to get going, well, ask yourself, what have you really lost out on other than just pushing a button here and there? Probably not all that much. So be patient and don't attack those that are worth waiting for. Okay, that's kind of where I'm at on the whole thing. So I, again, am still personally mining every single day. I haven't quit. There's a couple days I've been traveling or I'm like in a jet and there's just no access to internet or whatever and I've missed a mining session, but by and large, I've pretty much hit them all. And the reason I'm doing that is because the effort is very low and I still believe in what Pi is doing. I believe in where it's going and I think it has a future and a purpose. I think it's still the only crypto that I know that's mobile based in the sense that you're checking in and out. I know you're not actually mining on your phone in the classic sense, but you're checking in and out on it on a mobile device that's accessible to literally everybody in the world. And I think that's great. I think it's equitable. And I think it's a wonderful social experiment that I think could go somewhere for real. So what's the Pi core team been doing in the absence? Well, they've been doing a lot of things around hackathon and really helping others kind of say what kind of innovation can come into the market. The core team's been smart about saying, let's focus for ourselves on KYC and the core components of Pi Network, and then let's let other people go create some really exciting or interesting or innovative apps that can run on top of the core network, and then we'll incentivize them with grand prize awards of Pi, that sort of thing. I think that's the right way to go. So that's kind of where they're at right now. When are we going to get out of this closed mainnet and into an open mainnet? Well, who's to say? I don't know the answer to that. I've not been told the answer to that. I won't guess the answer to that. But understand it's going to take some time. We don't know how much time, but that's what's happening. So I just wanted to give you an update on everything that's happening in Pi Network. Also, maybe the last couple things, the core team has mentioned this in the app. Please be careful about your code. You should never give away your seed phrase. There's no support that's ever going to need it. I'm guessing that some people have lost access to their Pi because they've fallen victim to some of those schemes. Please don't do that. Please don't ever give away any of your personal information around yourself or Pi Network or your seed phrase to anybody. There's literally no reason to do it. And secondly, they're also very cognizant of the fact that there is like these Pi futures that are being traded on some exchanges. I think that's pretty shady stuff. It's not representative of what the real price is going to be. Think about it. If you have millions and millions of users in the Pi ecosystem, and yet only a few hundred people that are actually involved in daily trading on this futures that's not even really Pi Network, it's not representative of the market. We don't know what the market is going to speak on the price of Pi because the market has not yet spoken. The market is representative of all of us. And if there's less than like a fraction of 1% that's actually trading in Pi right now, and even it's not Pi, it's Pi futures, this representation of Pi, it just doesn't represent it. So people ask me all the time, what do you think Pi is going to be worth? Is it at the $38, $39 it's trading at now? Is it way more, way less? I'm not giving you an answer. The reason I'm not giving you an answer is because I don't know. And the reason that I don't know is the same reason that everyone else doesn't know. It's too early to know. The Pi core team has no idea what Pi will be worth in the future. I don't. No influencer out there knows. Please don't listen to crypto influencers. They have no idea what they're talking about. And neither does anybody else prognosticating on the market. We don't know. The journey is still, we're still in the middle of it. And remember, life, just like Pi Network, is not about the destination. It's about the journey. So there's just my last little thought for you. Have you remembered life is about the journey? You're in the middle of the journey right now, both in terms of where Pi's going and just in your life. So take a minute, step back, take a breath, relax, understand it's going to take some time. If you still believe in it, check in and hit the mining button. If you don't, no worries. You're still here watching this and listening to this, and I'll be sure to give you future updated videos on where things are going and what I think about all of it. But I did want to give you just an update in Pi Network and my view on it since it's been so long. Have any questions? Well, shoot them into the comments below. I probably will not get to them. My channel's so big now I can't just answer every single one of them, but hopefully the community will jump back in. And remember, be nice with each other, be kind with each other, understand those that are on the other side of the crypto fence from you. That's a good thing. Let's celebrate our differences. Hit like, hit subscribe. Let's get this channel to 100K. I'd love to get there at some time in the next, I don't know, few months. It'd be an amazing thing. Oh, it can only happen if you do it. All right, my friends, thank you guys so very much.